Okay guys, I'm just trying to show you here how I'm putting an all-in-one camera on my Heliway 903 drone. First of all, I took my camera out of my Bold Clash. It's a two-piece camera. And what I did was I enlarged the hole right there just a little bit, and with a reamer, one of these things right here, a reamer tool. Then I took these cutters here and I cut a V like this and into it, but left the hole, big. That way you can snap the camera down in it and it'll stay. Then I don't know if there's enough light there for you to see, but you can see how the camera fits down in there. I hope you can see that, how the camera's fitting down in there. And I put just a dab of hot glue on the bottom right there. See, just to hold it on an up angle. I don't know if you can tell or not. Damn, there's just no light in here. But it's on an up angle, so it'll be level when I'm flying like that. Okay, now I have mounted the 5.8 gigahertz camera. I've already had the camera mounted, but now I've got the little, whatever you call it, the little board mounted. The F.P.V board. I mounted it right in there, and I just put a little dab of hot glue to hold the antenna up straight. I had to do a little cutting to make that work too, but it worked out real nice. Show you on the bottom here. Let's see. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I've got it mounted in there straight up and down. One of these little cameras I believe would have fit in there a lot better, but this one, I got this one from GearBest, and it lasted about 2 flights and quit, so So I knew this camera was better, so I wanted to go with it. And if you'll notice, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but there's a button to change the channels if you ever want to, right there. And damn this camera. And anyway, I got that exposed to where whenever this is the little top to it, and it just slips right off. Take 2 screws out and it'll slip right off. So I can get in there, or I may just put a little hole right in the front of it there, like one of the headlights, to where I can mash it if I want to change it, but I probably never change it. So alright, right there's how I put my headlights back in. They was in this little piece, but since the camera's in there now, this won't go. So I wanted my headlights back in there so I could tell how to calibrate it and stuff, the gyros. So I just put just a dab of hot glue behind each, just a dab too, right behind each headlight, and then put just a dab on where the coating is on the wires there to hold them together. Now it'll go right back in there and everything's in good shape. Alright guys, here's what it looks like with the top on it. Let's see if I can show you. And my blade is plenty far enough away from the antenna not to really hit it, and this top piece here has it pushed backwards anyway, so I think we're in good shape there. And there's the bottom of it. Everything's all sandwiched in there. As you can see, I got my lights back in, and I got them plugged back into the board there. And there's another plug right here on this side, and that's where I'm going to plug the camera in. And then I'm also going to do another mod. I canceled my order on the batteries that I had ordered for this thing. I had 5 batteries ordered, but I canceled those because they're 600 milliamp, and they're in a plastic case, and it's real loose, and oodles of room in this thing for a lot bigger battery, so I'm going to go ahead and use the Sky Viper 650 milliamp batteries. They're actually about the same weight, but they're 50 milliamps bigger, and the battery's actually a little bigger, but it's about pretty much the same weight. If anything, it's just about a half a gram lighter, because you don't have the case on it now, so it'll fit in there perfect. All I gotta do is change this end to one of these kind of ends and mount it in here somewhere at the end, so when I slip the battery in, I can just plug it right up. That's what I'm going to work on next and finish putting it together. It weighed 70 grams when I started, battery and all, so we'll see what it comes out to when I get through. It shouldn't weigh over, it shouldn't, I'm hoping around 80 grams. 10 grams is all I'm hoping to add to it, so we'll see. And it wouldn't even be that, I don't think, except for I used some hot glue here and there, and the hot glue's heavy, so, but we'll see. Okay, I don't know if you can see it, but I've got it all powered up with the Sky Viper battery. See if I can zoom in a little. My headlights are working, blinking because I just got it on and got it flipped upside down. Camera's in there and it's on a pretty good angle. I know the camera's shaky, guys, but this is about 3 o'clock in the morning and I couldn't sleep and got up, and I didn't want to set up all the camera equipment. I just wanted to work on this thing. I figured this is good enough. I cut me out a little notch in this piece and then put a groove in that piece there, to where when I put my top here on it, it's going to snap down and hold that in place to where I can unplug and plug my battery up without any problems. And I went on and put this back on just to hold the wires down good, holds the board in better. And you can see, I don't know if you can see in, let me see if I can, but the camera's powered on in there. I got it, I plugged it right here. It says P, G, and V, but I can't get no power on the power and ground wires for some reason on it, but I do on the video. So if you put the positive to the video wire and then the ground on the negative, you get 5 volts. I don't know if that's just the way the board's wired or what, but I couldn't get no voltage at all on the hooking it the other way. So I checked it with a meter. I'm getting a 5 volts right there all the time, so that's perfect to power my camera. Alright, guys, of course I didn't think about it. It may be that my controller has a camera button on it. It may be that it would only come on if I turned the camera on. I didn't think about that to try it, but I've already got it wired up. Let's just try it this way. Alrighty, guys, I know I got a mess here, but here's what it looks like. And I did manage to get the Sky Viper batteries in there. Bent this little tab here down where it would hook in there and hold it in there so it don't just flop out. I managed to get the plug in there like I wanted it. As you, I don't know if you can make that out, but it's in there. And now when you plug it and unplug it, it's real stiff. It don't move around. You ain't got to worry about pulling your wires loose or nothing. And I don't know if you can see this or not, but they still, you know, you can't hardly tell, but they still play in there. That battery even had more room, you know, because I think I could get 2 Sky Viper batteries in there, but I don't know how well it would tote that. I'm trying to keep it light as possible. I hadn't weighed it yet, fixing to. And I do have the camera just about on the right angle. It sort of looks like it's level, but it ain't. It's actually, when you got it about like that, it's level. So or it looked like to me when I was flying it around my room here. So, you know, and this camera's got a wide field of view, so you can go on like that and still see pretty good. So I think it turned out great, guys. It looks great. It's 5.8 FPV now. I don't think I added much weight. I've got bigger, better batteries in it. I mean, you just got to use your imagination and don't let nothing stop you. Alright guys, let me weigh it up and we'll see what we got. Well guys, I don't know how I did it. I don't know if you can see this. It weighed 70 grams before I ever fooled with it, or at least that's what the website says when you order the thing. It says it weighs 70 grams with the battery included in it. So I'm assuming the website's right. And I've added that little tiny 5.8 gigahertz camera, which weighed about 6 grams. And the battery I put in was actually 1 gram lighter than the battery that came out of it, because of the fact that it had this case around it. I mean, look, this is the battery right here that comes in the thing, and it's got that funky plug on the end of it and all. It's a 600 milliamp battery, but it's in this case and all. And see, I don't use that now. I use one of those. So, and you can see there's quite a bit of difference in the thickness too, because that battery's just flopping around in that case, so you don't need all that extra crap. But anyway, let me weigh that again. Let me get my scale back on here. Alright. You can see that it ain't sitting on nothing. And it weighs 69.4 grams, so I'm actually almost a half a gram lighter than it was to start with. It weighs 69.4 grams. I don't know how I did it, but it's actually a half a gram lighter now than it was to start with. So I am tickled to death. I've already had it flying around my room here. It does great. Can't wait to take it out tomorrow and fly it. Alright guys, that is how you put 5.8 FPV into a Heliway 903 without mounting it on top. I thought I was going to have to mount it on top, but after I looked at it a little closer, if you don't mind doing a little filing with a file and doing a little cutting with the X-Acto knife, and you got to be real precise with things though if you want it to look good. And if you don't mind using just a dab or two of hot glue, you know, I love it guys. I just love it. I think I've done an excellent job on it. Looks like it comes from the factory that way almost, except for that little dab of hot glue on the front. And that is a Boulder Clash camera that's in it. Actually, that camera right there is what I used in it. It's the one off of my Boulder Clash. I'm going to get another and replace it now. But it's a Boulder Clash camera. It was in this little thing right here. This little canopy. I just took it out of that. I'll get me another one to put on that. I hadn't had a chance to fly my X16 yet. Well, I mean, I took it out and I hovered it, and then I went up to maybe 100 foot and took it out about 100 foot and then hit the return to home just to make sure it all worked. But other than that, I hadn't flew it around to play with it any or anything. So we'll get to that. And I think I've seen some reviews that I need to change these props and put some better props on it. So I don't know. I'm on, before I do too much messing around with it, I want to see. But nay, I love that. I appreciate it. And I'm tickled with my little drone here. I really am. Well, I mean, darn, that's a neat little toy. Especially with the 5.8 FPV in it now. I can put on my good goggles now and have a ball with it. I might even like this thing better than I do my Sky Viper. I like to keep a toy like this just to play around with, so you know, because these little toys, if you break them, you ain't lost too much. I like to get out there and fly fast and do some practicing, just to be having fun, not to really be filming or anything, just to have fun. And to do that, you know, I want to use a toy, not a good quad. And I don't even really have I mean, I've got all these GPS drones, and I'm only about $30 away from getting me one of those good racing drones. So I appreciate that, all y'all's help on that. We're only $30 away, so maybe maybe somebody will finish me off here, and we'll get that thing ordered real soon. Alright guys, this is the end of the video. I hope y'all enjoyed it.